So go ahead and lay down. Because if I came in to do class today, that's what I'd want to do. I literally had 20 minutes in between my last private and this class, and I stayed in the back room and laid down for 20 minutes. I just called my bestie and I was like, I'm so tired. Me and Liz just on the phone for like 15 minutes talking about stuff, just literally laying on the floor. Talking to her made me feel better. So sometimes when we just lay flat like this, which is what I've been doing for the past 20 minutes, it's like a way to recharge the battery. You ever have one of those little things that like you leave it on the desk and you can just lay your phone on it instead of plugging it in? That's how I felt like I was that. I laid myself onto the platform and I tried to restore my energy, recharge my battery. And so we will begin the same way. Part of the process of that recharging and restoring is to sort of let the stirrings of the mind go. So turn your attention to your breath. Turn your attention to the support of the mat and the floor beneath you. Begin to use your senses to sort of adapt yourself into present moment, time, present moment living. Welcome, Sally. And I'd like you to take your hands and place the left one near your heart and the right one on your upper belly, somewhere around the navel, you know? And just begin to feel for the breath. Not just that you know you're breathing or you're watching your breathing, but you can actually feel the breathing. And then let's do a little bit of a scan. So just like take your attention and your awareness down to the soles of your feet. And the legs can be extended out long so that you're just resting completely with the legs out. If you need your knees bent because of a lower back issue or something, then you certainly can keep them bent, but otherwise just let the legs go straight out. And start to feel for the heaviness of your heels. Right? You can kind of feel the weight of your heels on the mat. And there's probably a little space behind your ankles where there's nothing touching the ground, and just kind of feel that space there. These are the natural curves and the shape of the body. And then maybe some part of your calf muscle might be resting on the mat. Just kind of feel where the leg meets the ground beneath you. So you can feel the weight of your heels. You can feel of the curve of the Achilles tendon. And then you can feel the weight of your lower leg. And then try to imagine a spaciousness around the knee joint. I'm pretty sure that everyone has a space behind their knee right now where you're not touching the mat. So continue to let that soften. And as you come up the legs, the upper leg where the femur is, it's a big leg bone. And we have our quads and our hamstrings and all of the connective tissues. There's some weight there, right? And so we can feel the top of the leg heavy. And if you really get a letdown feeling in the leg, you can begin to feel sort of a hollowing of the hip. So sometimes we don't realize it, but we're clenching or gripping somewhere in that musculature around the glutes or the groins, even the psoas, the pelvic floor muscles. But for right now, I want you to let that go. And it might mean that you accentuate the breath a little bit under that right hand. And so we continue as the lower body relaxes and softens. We start to move into the pelvis, and that pelvic cavity has movement. There is an inner pressure in the pelvic cavity, the abdominal cavity, the thoracic cavity, that changes with every inhalation and every exhalation. And if the breath is free and able to move without feeling locked in any part of you, that pressure continues down into the pelvic floor and all the way up into the crown of your head. And so we start to notice if there are any parts that feel locked down. Sometimes it's as simple as just making sure that the ribs spread on the inhalation, that the pelvis, the abdomen, and the chest all move when you breathe, and that there's no restriction on the movement of the lungs. And that wave of relaxation continues to find its way up through the body, through the side waist, and then continue to look for that sense of relaxation and movement in the collarbones and the shoulder blades. So when you're breathing, again, you can feel for the lifting and the rising and widening of the collarbone and the expansion of the shoulder blades on your back. Every breath has a three-dimensional quality. And go ahead and take one more breath in, and let's all open our mouth and let out a little sigh on the exhale. Yeah, just softening the throat. Keep a little space between your upper and lower jaw now. Relaxing through the throat, the ears, the nose. The airways feel soft and open. You can continue to let that softness come through the face, into the hairline, the temples, the forehead. Sometimes even the eyes are fast twitching. Even when we lay with them closed, they move around with our thoughts, and we let the eyeballs kind of settle and rest into the eye socket. And it's interesting, sometimes we feel like we need to fidget because laying still is hard. Even following my voice and staying with the relaxation is a challenge. But see if you can just continue to let that fidget or that movement, that little twitch of your foot or whatever is happening, know that that is probably just tension leaving your body. It's not necessarily impatience. It could be a letting go. Some of us have programmed so much to be armored and holding just to survive, just to get through the day. And sometimes letting the guard down, letting the armor go is a process. Now, if you would gently roll your head to the right without lifting it, just roll toward your ear on the right side. I'll hold it there for just a moment. Take another deep breath in and that open mouth sigh, loosening the jaw and the neck. And just so slowly rolling the head back to the center and rolling over toward the left ear. Again, a nice long, slow, deep breath in and a complete breath out. And then we'll roll our head back to the center. Now, when we come into this level of stillness, any movement that we do is going to create a shift or a change in our energy. We have settled a lot of the energy that flows through the body right now. And so any kind of pose that we move into is going to shift and change things. And so I ask you to make the movement slowly and deliberately so that you can be mindful of any shift or change. So let's just take the right hand off the belly and lift it up over the head. Let it come to rest. Soften the elbow and the fingers. Just opening and hollowing out that right shoulder and armpit. And then go ahead and lift the left one. Same experience, just lifting it up overhead, softening it, letting it come to rest. Look for a hollowing of the armpit, so not an overstretch of the muscles, but not reaching too far. The elbows are soft, and the fingers are soft. And see if you can play with the expansion of the breath up into the space you just created. So we bring the breath up. We expand it high and wide and front and back. And it feels like a good to be alive breath. A breath that nourishes every cell of your body with the oxygen. And then the next thing we're going to do is really subtle. So you got to make a promise to yourself and a promise to me that you're not going to overdo it. I really need this to be the most subtle thing that you're going to do today. And I know that you can feel the weight of your head on the mat. But I want you to really, really gently just press the back of your head into the mat and feel how the back of the neck just gently lifts. And you feel the muscles on the back of the neck contract just the slightest amount to create some support for the cervical spine. Did you guys feel that? Yeah. So it's just a gentle press back. It doesn't take much to tone the muscles that hold the curve of the back of the neck. And so I don't want you to feel like you're straining or that you're trying, but that you're just aware that you can create some tone and support in that curve. Now, so many of us are on our phones, our computers, driving, slouching, and we've become so accustomed to being head forward that just this, just like lifting the arms and pressing the head back, is like counterposing your life, right? So we're just going to give it another couple minutes. Now, while you're pressing into the back of the head, did you clench your jaw? Or did you let go of the softness of how the eyeballs could rest in the sockets? Let's separate the upper and lower jaw and soften into the throat. And if at any moment you need to open the mouth on the exhale to release the energy out, you can do so. Let the breath run free. Keep your mind on the quality of the breath. It's amazing how engaging the breath can be and how attached we are sometimes to the movements. And when we just don't move that much, that we can still get so much out of the practice. Let's just take 5 more breaths here. Feeling the expansion of the inhalation up into the armpit chest, up into the collarbones and shoulder blades. Any moment the mouth can separate and the breath can come out with a sigh. And on this last breath, I want you to take the pressure off the back of the head and just soften. Start to open your arms a little wider and bend them into 90 degrees so you have goddess arms. The back of the hands still on the floor, but the elbows are on the same plane as the shoulder, right? The upper arm bone is just straight out. Elbows are bent, fingers are soft. So you got to bring the arms down low enough that your elbows are on the same line as your shoulders. Come down a little bit more, right there. You're welcome. Okay. Let's go ahead and bend our knees. It should feel good to put the soles of your feet onto the mat. You might even make little adjustments in the pelvis. Sometimes the bone structure in the SI joint or the lumbar spine need a kind of adjustment, like a little tuck or a little adjust. Sometimes we have one hip higher than the other. So do what you need to do to get the pelvis in neutral. And then just continue breathing. Notice if there's a little more freedom in the movement around the bottom of the rib cage. When the psoas is pulled long, sometimes the breath is a little bit tighter. And when the knees are bent and the hips are soft, the breath is a little easier. So allow some expansion. Let there be movement around the navel and the bottom of the rib cage stretching. Now I'd like you to simply cross your right knee over your left knee. Knee over knee. Think about that. So there is no space in between. Yeah. Knee to knee, not ankle to knee. Not the ankle, the knee. Yeah, there you go. And then I don't want you to go very far. Again, today is subtleties. We're going to lean the legs a little bit to the left. Do you get a little sensation there? You don't have to go very far. You can go a little further if you want to, because the right foot would probably touch the floor. But it's not a spinal twist. It's actually just a tilting of the pelvis. Maybe a little stretch in the IT band. Smart. Was that Darren? Yeah, so smart. And so I don't want that tilt to the left to create too much muscular energy, but just enough that a new sensation arises. And then let the breath expand into that whole experience of your body. So the outer right hip probably has some sensation. But notice what happens with the breathing. Did your attention go to the sensation, and did you forget about the quality of your breath? We're just going to take 3 more breaths here. Let's not go quite as far. Okay. So more about like here. Just so good. And try not to let it fall completely. Yeah, do you feel here? Okay, good. And so as you complete that 3rd and final breath, let's uncross those knees, recenter, and plant the right foot back on the mat. Ooh, there's a release there, isn't there? Yeah, and just let that go. You feel your feet on the mat, you feel your breath running free. And then maybe if you used props, you move them to the other side so you can cross the left knee over the right knee. And you don't need props here, but if you have them and you want to use them, you're going to tip a little bit to the right. It doesn't take much to get the outer hip or the IT band to awaken. There was probably just tension there, and moving just a little bit to the right exposed it. So it's left knee over right knee. And just like a little tilt to the right. There's something so interesting to me about less is more, because you know that we could cross the legs and go completely in a twist here. But when we do something just a little, we feel something different. I've been playing a lot with like the halfway mark between normal poses and just seeing what it feels like to not go all the way into the full range. And again, because there's a little muscular energy here to hold this, we won't stay quite as long. And if your mind went right to the sensation, bring your mind back to the expansion of your breath. Feel the breath up in the armpit, chest, into the collarbones and shoulder blades. Feel the breath at the bottom of the rib cage. The funny thing is that as the tension softens, the legs kind of melt and they might start going toward the floor. You have to let them, right? Because otherwise you're creating tension. So if things start to melt and change and transform, just go with it. Yeah, it's okay, Laura. Yeah, otherwise you're holding, right? That's the armor. And so we melt. And what more could we ask from this practice? But to right before our eyes, watch the tension of the body melt away. So enjoy 3 more breaths here. Make them good. Just filling all the way up, emptying all the way out. And on the last one, we want to be prepared. So we start to tilt back to the center and uncross the left leg, planting the left foot onto the mat. And then just really simply, let's stretch both legs straight back out. Slide them down. And then open the legs so that the heels move toward the corners of your mat. So we are widening the stance. And then just play with the space with your neighbors. I want you to make your arms straight out like a T. So maybe one goes high, one goes low, and just kind of share the space with your neighbor. Most of you are somewhat staggered, so it should be pretty fine. And Sally at home, hopefully you have plenty of room to just lay your arms out. Now, in order to create sort of an anchor for this pose, I'm going to ask you to flex your feet and press your legs gently down and out. Then take your arms straight up toward the ceiling. Cross the right one under the left one. Just make sure you do that. Right under left. So they're not over the head, they're over your chest, right over your face. And then cross the right under the left and wrap your arms around you and give yourself a big hug. See if you can get your hands behind your shoulders, like behind your back, like cross the elbows tight across the chest and then reach for the outer shoulder or the back. And then we're going to keep the legs anchored, and we won't do this for very long, but I want you to pull the belly button into the spine and then lift your head, neck, and shoulders, tucking the chin toward the chest. Yeah, and I know, and all of a sudden you're going to be like, it's burning, my neck hurts, oh, get me out of here. But you can do this, you can do it. Just pull the belly to the spine, keep anchoring through your legs. Where's the flex in the feet? Where's the push down and out? That's it, and it might burn a little bit, but I want you to feel what's happening in your upper back. I want you to feel the shoulder blades widen. I want you to create the roundness. Yep, we're going to just take one more really big breath. Big, big, big inhale. Squeeze on the exhale. Oh, surprise, a little muscle effort. And then lay it back down. Good. Open your arms out like a T and just let that be for a moment. Yeah, there's an in that. Yeah, let it go. Let it go, whatever it is. I don't know what the weight of the world is that you carry on your shoulders or on your back. But see if you can feel your body letting it go. Just soften it. Move the breath up and in there. Set it free. Relax your feet, your legs, your ankles. Remember all of those little spaces under you that don't touch the floor, and feel how soft they are. Then we're going to activate the legs again, flexing the ankles, pushing out and down through the feet. So your legs are really active here. They're like long and on fire, like phew, like lift your feet, pull your toes back. And then the arms go straight up over the chest, over the face. Left under right this time, wrap them around, cross tight at the elbows, wrap your hands around, see if you can give yourself a hug. It seems kind of corny, but it is kind of nice. You can feel your hands actually embracing your own body. And then we lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Left under right. Keep using your legs. Yep, keep anchoring the pose, belly to the spine, so you're actually using your core and not straining your neck. Draw the chin toward the chest and breathe into the upper back. I know it starts to get a little shaky and ugly. Don't make a funny face though. Stay calm. Soften the jaw. Soften the eyeballs. Use your legs and your core. Feel what's happening between the shoulder blades. Take one long, slow, deep breath in. Go higher on the exhale. Right there. Feel that. And then lay it down gently. Release your arms back out like a T. Embrace that air conditioning blowing on you for a moment. I've already shut it off. It's gonna be over in a second. And then let's take a deep breath in and say ah on the exhale. Okay. Now, a little less action, but just the same idea. It's just a softer version of the flexing of the feet and the grounding of the legs. And then once your legs feel like they're like active enough to just hold the pose from the hips down, I want you to lift your left arm off the ground, bring it straight up over you, and then reach it over to meet your right hand. So your shoulder blade, lift the shoulder and the shoulder blade. But what happened to your feet, right? Our feet were wide and flexing and straight. So now we've lifted the upper left quarter of the body off the floor. Pick up the shoulder blade, pick it up so you can bring your hand all the way. There's a twist in the upper body here. That's a really clever idea, but no. Yeah. So work from here. Relax this and reach with this one. Your head can go back down. So it's just this upper right quarter is lifted off the mat. And now you breathe. Breathe in the space that is off the floor. Breathe into that upper part of your back. You guys okay there? So I know that there's a little bit of muscle action here, and notice how different it feels to be activated compared to that deep relaxation that we created at the beginning of the class. Can we do this work with the element of that relaxation still in us? Even though a little bit of muscle action is required to hold the form, can we make sure that we're not creating tension? Check your jaw, your eyes, your lips. Yeah, just this. Now I know that you can feel your left hand on your right forearm or your hand to hand. And we're just gonna like stay with that element of touch, like when we gave ourselves the big hug. And I want you to literally let your left hand drag along your right arm all the way until you laying. Right one stays down, left one drags along the right arm until you're laying back down. You could even sweep it across your chest and then lay that left arm back out to the floor. Yeah. How nice. Yeah. I love this. Big arms, big legs, just take up space. There's a lot of you in this room that are like me, like 5'2". Yeah. Right. So taking up a little space, it actually feels quite nice. And then allow space for you to come back into that deep relaxation. Let that relaxation move all the way through the upper body, all the cavities of the breath, into the pelvis and down the legs. And then when you're ready, we'll activate the legs a little bit. Just flex the feet. Let yourself know where they are, right? So they stay where they are. And as you inhale, the right arm will start to reach up toward the ceiling. And then it continues all the way over. See if you can bring the right one to the left one. It's not like you bring the left one to the right. There you go, Michael. Just reach all the way to the hand. The upper right side of the body comes off the mat. Nice sensation there, yeah? Do you feel something there? Let your head rest. Breathe into the shoulder blade on the right side and try not to interlace your fingers. Keep the left one completely relaxed on the floor, and then the right one is just trying to get to it, right? So that's that reach that creates the widening of the shoulder blade. So we get a little space in the rhomboids. We actually get a little bit of space like in the ways in which that shoulder blade can move. It retracts and it expands, it elevates and depresses. You know, there's all kinds of things going on in that shoulder girdle. And so we reach and we breathe. And we notice how we feel. Even though there's muscle action, can there be some sense of that relaxation? So even though we're discharging some of the tension of the body, that overall the practice has this element of recharging, discharging, and recharging. And then again, we honor that sort of feeling of touch, right? That sense of touch. And we let the right hand kind of slowly drag from the palm up the forearm, just like all the way up to the shoulder, maybe across the chest, and then lay it out onto the floor on the right. Relax your legs. Now I want you to check in and make sure that your right leg stayed out wide near the right edge of the mat. And then bring your left leg over to meet your right leg. They can go side by side or even cross ankles. And there may be some sensation there right away. Anyone feel something there? Yeah. And so there's this gentle like pulling down of the left hip, right? Making the side waist on the left side a little bit longer. And then we'll accentuate that by taking the right arm down the right side. And then see if you can kind of wiggle your shoulders to the right and continue to reach the right arm down toward the knee or toward the outside of your leg. Yeah. And then the left arm is going to extend all the way up, bicep near the ear. I like to sometimes bend my elbow and sort of wrap my arm around my head, so that the bicep is close to the ear and the elbow is the highest point in the pose. And then expand and send the breath all up and down the left side of the body. Like if you could actually determine where the breath could flourish and move the most, you would move it into the left side where the space is. And then just sort of pay attention to all of the different sensations. So the arm isn't over the face, it's up over the crown. Yeah, let it rest on the floor. There you go. Is that better? Yeah. I just saw it in the corner of the elbow. Bend a little more. It's like banana. The pose is like a banana. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's not so much a twist as a side bend. So this one comes down. Move your shoulders, both shoulders, a little bit to the right. So it's not lifting one, it's actually moving both of them. This one has to move toward the edge of the, yeah. Yep. And then just let it fall. Mm-hmm. So there's no twist, it's just the side. It's like stretching from here to here. Can you feel that now? It's like in the side? Yeah. And then just breathe into the side of your body. Like imagine using one lung more than the other. Like, could you imagine that? Yeah. Like I love that feeling of like, oh, I can inflate this one. I can push the filling of the lung into the spreading of the ribs. And I can expand and create space and maybe touch and release some of the tension that's in there. There's space and hollowing under the armpit. And the tricep is getting a little bit of length. There's just so many beautiful places that can be toned and touched right now and softened. And of course, once we find the form, can we bring back that sense of relaxation? Like really, truly trusting and knowing that the shape of the pose is enough to create a change or a shift in your body. That you don't have to flex or push or pull. You just get to be. So relax your feet, relax your toes. The more you use the breath, the more you'll notice the relationship between the psoas and the breathing. Because the way it connects in the lumbar spine is right by where the ribs and the diaphragm expand, and there's just this pull on the left hip. Do you guys feel it? And does it change a little with every breath? Let's take one more here, just one. Filling up, filling up, filling up, and then empty out completely. Continue to breathe regularly, but let's just bring the head to center and start to bring the left arm down. Just, oh yeah. So now both arms are down by your sides, but your head and shoulders need a moment and they need to recenter on the mat. And then go ahead and just gently uncross or separate the feet back to their corners and feel the letting go. Yeah, there's a in that one. Yeah, say it. Just say it. Say it. Notice if there's clenching or gripping. Sometimes there is a holding. We don't even know we're doing it, but something doesn't feel good, so we start to grip on it. But see if you can melt it away. Somehow all that stickiness and tension somehow dissipates in the stillness. So just make sure your feet found their way out wide to the edges of the mat, and then let the right one come over to meet the left one. So we lift the right one and we bring it over to the left. I heard that. And if crossing the ankles feels like too much, then just simply put them beside each other. So it's right over left. Think about that. And then we start to reach the left arm down. That's where we start to do that lateral extension. So we lengthen down from the hips, like from the waist. Then we start to lengthen upward as we bend to the left, shoulders moving toward the left edge. And then that right arm comes up overhead, bicep near the ear. And again, you can bend the elbow and just kind of like let the arm come up and around. And so we expose the side body on the right. And we start to breathe and we start to notice all of the little places. It could be the hip, it could be between the ribs or in the shoulder, could be down the outside of your leg into your knee. I don't know where your tension is. But I imagine there's some form of tension in your body that is being exposed right now. And then can you try and soften it? Can you be with it and watch it as it responds to the breathing? Where does the breath travel? And where doesn't it? Go ahead and take 3 more breaths. Slowly and sensitively, as you complete that 3rd breath, you're just going to bring your head to center Begin that process of bringing the right arm down. Be gentle with your shoulder. Let it come to rest, palm facing up. Recenter your shoulders. And then go ahead and gently separate the legs, bringing them back to the edges of the mat. Yeah, there could be a or a you know. Yeah, just let it be for a moment. And then this could possibly be the best moment of the whole practice right now. You're going to pull both knees to the belly. Don't be scared. Yeah, just say it out loud, whatever it is. So go ahead and draw the knees into the belly. Rock a little bit. Do what feels organic and right to you. So the knees are bent and they're squeezing in. You're holding on with your hands and just kind of taking care of yourself in this moment. And then I'd like you to roll over onto your belly. You can just flip. Your feet can stay at this end, your head at that end. So roll over into your belly. You okay? Oh, it happens. Yeah. And so we lay onto the belly and we take the arms. Well, actually, keep the right arm bent and make a pillow with your right hand. Turn and look to the left. Yep. Did you have to check for the L? I do all the time. Yeah. And then we're going to extend the left arm straight out. Straight out to the side. Yeah. That's it. And we'll take about 5 breaths there. And if it's hard to turn your head to the left here, just know that we're not staying very long. At the end of that 5th and final breath, I want you to push into your right arm and lift your head. We're going to turn the gaze to the other side. We're going to move the right hand flat on the floor by the shoulder. Slide the hand down by your shoulder. And then you push into your right hand and roll your weight onto the right shoulder. Left shoulder, sorry. Did I say it backwards? The right hand is under your shoulder. You're going to push into it and roll your weight onto your left arm on shoulder. You got it, Nadia. Take the arm straight. Yeah, there you go. Now, the top leg. Listen up, you guys. The left arm is still out to the side, just how you had it when you were laying on the floor. Left arm, go back to your belly. Left arm is out to the, yeah. Mitch, lay back. Okay, but let's play with it. Let's see if we can find a way to do it less. So lay on your belly. Take the left arm behind you. Yeah. Because the tears have healed. How long ago did you do them? Yeah. Okay, so does this arm just go straight out? Okay, and then you're using this hand on the floor, push, and then just that is enough, right? You don't have to go really far. Yeah, palm is down on the left hand. Now the top leg should be your right leg. Can you take it behind you? Both legs straight, like an open scissor. Both legs straight like an open scissor, so. Right? See if you can let that top leg go straight back behind you. Yeah. I love that reaching back of the top leg. Getting that psoas long, and feel it in the outer hip there. And you don't have to push really hard on the left shoulder. You can be as much or as little as you want to. Depends how much you want to lean into your right hand, how much you want to lean into your left shoulder. You decide. And then see if you can get the breath into the chest, right where it's compressed, underneath that left armpit chest. See if you can take that back further. And I like open scissors, yeah? Yeah. These pants are so cute. Oh my goodness. Relax the feet. Relax the face. Mm-hmm. We'll just give that a couple of breaths. Can you find that sense of relaxation? It's still in you. Maybe the top leg can reach back slightly, just a little more. And we'll take one last breath there. Filling up, filling up, filling up, filling up. And on the exhale, roll onto your belly, bringing your legs back together, taking the pressure off of your left arm. Yep, say it. Lay flat for a moment. Let your arms go. Make a pillow for your head if you like. Right arm is going to go straight out. Left one can bend. You can make a pillow with your head for just a moment. And so we look out to the right. Yeah. So the left hand is a pillow and we look toward the extended right arm. Try that. And so we're looking toward the right because for the whole rest of this hold, we're going to be looking to the left. So I just want to give you a little bit of counter. Yeah. And then you lift and turn your head to the left, move the hand under the shoulder. And we start to push into the floor and roll some weight onto the right shoulder. The top leg, which is your left leg, slides back behind you. So the legs are like an open scissor. Both legs straight, separating apart, creating a beautiful line from the hip down. And then you decide how much to lean into the right shoulder or how much weight to keep in the left hand based on what your shoulder will tolerate. Try not to let your leg float in the air. That's muscle energy. Just relax it until it touches down. You can put it on that bolster. It's okay, as long as it's not in the air. Yeah. And both feet are still kind of pointing toward the left. We're not turning the foot up toward the ceiling. Yeah. That's it. And then we breathe. We breathe into the shoulders. We breathe up and down the spine. We breathe to discipline and control the mind, staying completely oriented into our senses. The music, the sensations, all of the feels. We typically want that right palm facing down. Sometimes you need to turn it up depending on what's going on there. But turning the palm to face up creates a really deep internal rotation of the shoulder head. So you want to make sure that maybe you're not pushing so hard and you keep the palm facing down. So if your palm is facing up, just consider turning it back down. Yeah. And maybe leaning off of the shoulder a little bit. Mm-hmm. And so we take another breath or two. On this last one, let's really fill up, fill up, fill up, fill up, fill up. And on the exhalation, start to roll onto your belly. Guide yourself with your left hand. Bring your left leg back around. And slowly we lay ourselves flat. Let's go ahead and move our hands under the shoulders and push back to child's pose. Do it slow so your lower back is willing to fold deep in the psoas. Yeah, like just, oh, how good is that? Your knees don't want to bend, tuck your tail and drop your head. And let's all extend our arms a little bit forward. We must have touched something because I'm seeing multiple foot cramps in the room. All right. So nice and slow. And kind of come on up, turn yourself around, do the least amount of effort possible, and lay yourself back down onto the mat. Are we okay? Are your shoulders okay? Okay. Yeah. And then what is left now is coming back to where we began. I want you to go back and take that journey from your heels all the way up through the crown of your head, remembering how you navigated all of the different parts, welcoming in the relaxation, noticing the letting down. Hands can, of course, be on the body, or the arms could be extended out on the sides, palms face up. Lauren and I are going to come around and bring you your towel. Try to be as quiet as we can. But don't let our presence disturb your peace. We're just going to lay the towel down. And you are welcome to take it to cover your eyes. You're welcome. Begin to notice the presence of the mat beneath you. Maybe the weight of your heels on the ground. Start to move the breath through you a little more purposefully. And eventually, you might stretch or move to prepare yourself to come on up and sit. All right, how are we? We okay? Started soft, just got a little challenging, but not a lot of movement. That was your first yin, right? Different than the other yoga. Yeah. And they're both good, just in really different ways. And the studio is basically designed to offer yin meditation, vinyasa, gentle, so that we can all find the place where we're comfortable moving and breathing every day and developing a relationship with the stillness. So there's lots of different offerings, lots of different levels, lots of different, it's not even levels. It's just like, what is your preference that day? I mean, sometimes we just want a gentle movement. Sometimes we want to kill it, right? And sometimes we just need to be like this, right? Something in between. So thank you for always being here. It's so nice. I come, it's the same faces, loyalty, community, dedication to yourself, dedication to this studio. Just means everything. Thank you. Let's close with 3 ohms. Take a deep breath in. Oh. Oh. Ah. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. He. Om. Peace, peace, perfect peace. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free. May the actions of my life and all of our lives somehow contribute to that happiness and that freedom for all, so that we may all know peace, peace, perfect peace. Namaste.